Quarterbacks are ruining the NFL card market. Joe Burrow is out. Other stars like Jayden Daniels, J.J. McCarthy, Brock Purdy, all not playing. Guess what? Your cards are going down in value because of it. You're not happy. We're going to tell you how to turn it around. What is up, everybody? I am Dappz, here with the one and only Ethan, and welcome back to another episode of Up or Down, the show where we dive into what really moves a card's price up or down. But first, we love our fans, and we want to show our appreciation. That's why we're bringing back our weekly Ludex Loot giveaway. And last week, we gave away this incredible Justin Madison Beer Herbert out of 25 auto.
Oh, yeah.
That's a nice one, right?
Yeah, she's nice.
She is nice. Bookend 25 of 25. And guess who the winner this week is? Congratulations to JRN7135. Just subscribed this week, and I'm loving what it so far. I'd love to see some tips for newer collectors on what to buy versus what not to buy. Also, I have a little, I don't know if I should be bringing this up in the middle of a giveaway. We'll see if we can cut this into the show. There's a company called Mantle. Are you familiar with them?
No, Mickey Mantle?
No, Mantle. They do like a range of collectibles, not just cards. I'm on their email list. They sent me an email 2 days ago, what I'm buying.
Hey.
They completely ripped us. There's no way they didn't see our show. We will be sending a cease and desist. Back to the giveaway. Congratulations. This Justin Herbert out of 25 is yours. Please comment beneath this video and make sure you DM us on Instagram at Dappz Sports. We'll make sure the Herbert gets sent to you. Again, all you have to do to enter the Ludex weekly giveaway every single week is subscribe to this channel, like the video you're watching, and make sure to comment what you want to see on next week's episode. So make sure you comment underneath this video, and then you're automatically entered. And the next giveaway is going to be, I'll show you that card later in the episode. Well, Ethan, it's a sad, sad day. Joe Burrow is injured again. It looks like he's going to miss 3 months. Turf toe. J.J. McCarthy got dinged up. Jayden Daniels got dinged up. C.J. Stroud looks like trash. Brock Purdy isn't playing. A lot of guys we've been talking and speculating about are either not playing the next couple weeks or look really bad. And I think a lot of collectors' cards are kind of slowly going downhill right now.
Yeah, if you're collecting anything besides Daniel Jones, you are fucked. Everybody's getting hurt. The good players aren't doing shit. Even Josh Allen broke his nose mid-game and put that shit back into place. I mean, there's not a lot of survivors left, but that's why we love the NFL.
Yeah, it seems like the common denominator between a lot of these injuries, too, is a bad offensive line.
Yep.
Should we be collecting offensive lineman cards now, or what do you think?
Dude, GMs should be, because they're not showing any love to the big men who are just, the best teams right now have the best line. Both sides of the ball. The Packers, good line. The Bills, good line. The Ravens, good line. And the ones with the shitty O-lines have injured quarterbacks.
And listen, we should also comment that just because Joe Burrow or Brock Purdy gets injured, don't fire sell your cards at a loss. Joe Burrow has gotten injured multiple times in his career. He's gone down in price, and he's bounced back in a huge way, right? So he got injured pre-Super Bowl, came back, looked amazing. So the fluctuation of his prices can go up and down. The problem here is for Joe Burrow to go back up, the Bengals need to be a fringe playoff team come week 15, 16, which is where he potentially could come back. And yes, if he were to play good or win a wild card game, that could really explode his prices very quickly, but you're taking on a lot of risk if you want to hold for 3 months.
Dude, fuck Duke Tubin. That guy does not want Joe Burrow to win. He doesn't want to pay any of the players. He doesn't want to bring good offensive linemen in, and this could be the best thing for Joe Burrow. Sit out the whole damn season and then get out of Cincinnati. He needs to find a new home, and that market will explode. Look at all these teams that have just a good core but no quarterback. You know what the solution would be? Is just grabbing Joe Burrow and getting him out of Cincinnati, who's never won anything in my entire life.
I believe, unfortunately, Joe Burrow is also a Ohio native. Grew up in Ohio.
Poor guy.
I think a Bengals fan. Obviously went to Ohio State pre-LSU. But there's rumors now that he might want to trade.
Dude, go back to LSU. Go to New Orleans. Be a quarterback over there. There is a long line of teams that will take Joe Burrow.
New York Jets.
Yeah, they'll rescue him because Joe Burrow is an elite player. So take this injury as a saving grace. It's just a toe. Get a new toe. You will be back. Your arm is still there, and you're a top 10 quarterback with or without your toe.
So Burrow's silver PSA 10 rookies are floating around $1,600 in a PSA 10. There's a little less than 300 pop of that silver. Is that hard to justify purchasing right now?
You get a way better card than that at $1,600. But we're talking about just buying Joe Burrow in general. It's not stupid. He is him. He is that guy. Go find good Joe Burrow cards at cheap prices. Not Prism Silvers, but grab cool numbered Prism. I think you can get a Contenders PSA 9 auto for $1,600 nowadays.
Well, also, I think that this is something we talk about on the show very consistently is the opportunity when a player like this gets injured. Because everybody goes, oh, my God, my cards are going down. But guess what? Over the next 2, 3, 4 weeks, huge buying op for Joe Burrow.
Yeah, bro.
Nobody's going to want to touch Burrow. Nobody's going to be talking about Burrow. You're still going to have 2 months before he even returns. So, the Bengals every week are just – you think they're going to look like, dog shit. But listen, they are 2-0 right now, so they have kind of like a 2 or 3 week grace period where they could lose 1 or 2 games and still be kind of fine. The Browns stink. Steelers lost last week. So the only real threat in the division is the Ravens, who also lost a game to the Bills. Yep. So I believe the Bengals at this current state are in first in their division, right?
Nice.
Which is pretty interesting. So huge buying opportunity for Burrow right now for you to make a little bit of money and potentially this season if he does play in the playoffs.
Quarterbacks or anyone going down in price isn't the worst thing. Like right now, Mahomes is 0-2. That's great news for me. I can go buy some Patrick Mahomes. Now is my last chance to buy him. So, a player getting hurt, if it's not like a severe injury, it's a good buying opportunity. Even like, I know you're not going to like this, but Justin Fields, the week 1 performance was nice. It's just a concussion. He will heal from that. He could be a good buy because if you can get back to, he's only had 2 games. 1 game he got hurt, 1 game he was great. So he can go back to being great.
Listen, I hope you're right. I hope Justin Fields is great. By the way, I've been rooting for Justin Fields since he got drafted. The Bears are obviously a dumpster fire of an organization as we're watching them week by week move on from Fields to Caleb Williams, and it basically is like the same sad story with any quarterback who enters that system. And it's a shame, too, because I was a big Ben Johnson guy. And I thought he was going to change the culture there, and it looks like he's not really a head coach, right? Dude. He's an offensive coordinator, and he's going to have to get fired in Chicago and end up going to another team and being their offensive coordinator again and succeeding.
I'm so over Bum Johnson, bro. He had 1 good season in Detroit, and why is he taking all of Dan Campbell's steam? Ben Johnson was a nobody till he was there. He's still a nobody. He shouldn't have been accredited for all the success they had. Look last week. Oh, the Lions lost their 2 coordinators. Bro, they just dumped on the Bears. They just put 50 points on them. I think the Bears are fine. I think they'll be okay. I don't think Ben Johnson's the worst coach. I don't think he's that great of a coach, but I think someone needs to tap him on the shoulder and be like, hey, you don't have Dan Campbell. There's no structure here. You have to build the structure and then have a convoluted offense. You can't just come in and start instilling these trick plays. It just doesn't work like that.
Well, what's wild is you have quarterbacks like Jalen Hurts, which I don't even want to dive into too deep, Justin Herbert, and Jordan Love, who are all roughly half the price in a silver prism than Joe Burrow, and look wildly better right now in terms of their positioning, their team positions, right? They're all 2-0.
Yep.
And then also the potential of them this season. Joe Burrow might be cooked for the whole year, and you might have to just stash him away for next year or sell low right now, whereas Herbert, Love, and Hurts all look like they're going to be in the playoffs. They win 1 game, you're definitely getting some type of premium if you're selling that week. They win 2 games, even higher premium. And I don't think you'd be surprised if you saw either 3 of these quarterbacks in a championship game scenario.
I wouldn't be surprised to see any 3 of them in the championship scenario, but guess who's already been in the championship scenario? Joe Burrow. And listen, there's sometimes card prices are related on skill sets and play and record, and then sometimes it's just aura, man. And Joe Burrow's got that aura. He's just that guy. He want to collect him. I'm a Chiefs fan. I fucking hate Joe Burrow. He comes into my house and spanks that ass whenever he comes. So I just know he has that aura. Listen, Kobe Bryant's not a top 5 basketball player. Kobe Bryant's maybe 7th best in the league, but he sells better than everyone else because he has aura.
Aura is definitely important. When we're talking about aura, Burrow has it. And now he's being compared to a guy, Andrew Luck, and they're bringing up the sack comparison because in the same amount of games behind a horrible offensive line, Andrew Luck got sacked somewhere between 150 and 160 times. At this same point in his career, Burrow has been sacked 200 times. So they're saying, is Burrow going to retire early? Does he want to trade out of Cincinnati? And by the way, like, very fair for him to want to get out of Cincinnati. This is an absolute joke.
Yeah.
When you have Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Trey Hendrickson, you have Chase Brown, you have all these players, and you didn't even get an offensive line.
Yeah.
The Bengals should be in a position now where maybe they don't spend any money on defense and they just spend all their money on their offensive line and like deal with a bunch of young players on D. Now you protect Joe Burrow, you score 30 points a game, and your defense lets up 25, and maybe you win, right? Like that's what the Bengals should be doing, and instead they have no insurance policy on their star quarterback, and they're a terribly run franchise.
Dude, they didn't even pay their first round pick till like 2 weeks into the season. But I love the comparison of Andrew Luck and Joe Burrow. Because Andrew Luck was so fucking good. Andrew Luck could still be playing today if he was still in the league. I remember what he did with my Chiefs, largest comeback in playoffs history. Like, he is so good. But the difference is Andrew Luck's a fucking nerd. That guy is a dork. He wanted to go do nerd shit and work for NASA, so he left. Joe Burrow's a football guy. That guy's from, as you say, he's from Ohio. He lives and breathes football. He won't quit. He will leave before he quits. And, man, as a guy who has like some big Joe Burrow pieces, please get the fuck out of Cincinnati. That shouldn't even be a football team. If he leaves that team, we need to relocate that team.
And I would say the Andrew Luck card market is not abysmal, but it's nothing to talk about. And if Joe Burrow followed a similar path, like, your cards are going down in price.
Oh yeah, but I don't think it will be. But you know, it's definitely a possibility. Always is.
Listen, let's go into our favorite segment, What I'm Buying. What are we buying, Ethan?
All right, what am I buying? And I have been watching GOATs skyrocket all across every category. Tiger Woods just had a record-breaking sale. Kobe Bryant every week has a record-breaking sale. Like, just the best players in the world are going up. But now let's look at the tier down, like the Dan Marinos, the John Elways. Like, these guys are also GOATs, so their markets are trending up. I looked at a Mark McGwire card the other day, and it was up crazy. Barry Bonds up crazy. So I liked buying Dan Marinos. I like buying Joe Montana's and Jerry Rice's. The 10 is such a low pop, and the 10s are going to keep spiking. And I know a 10 and a 9 is a way different grade, but the 9s are going to go up if the 10s are going up.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's always what happens. The 9s follow the 10s.
Yeah.
Right? So if you start to see PSA 10s increase in price, the PSA 9s will follow. It might not be in the same timeline, but especially on a vintage card like this, the only thing that worries me a little bit is this is a pop count of 4,435.
Yep.
So the total pop, though, again, 33,000. We're talking about a little over 10% of the pop is a PSA 9, right? The rest of the cards, this is a very hard grade, right?
Can we look at see all real quick, Dylan? Yeah, so 4,000 PSA 9s and 410. So, like, you know, 9s are useless. I'm not saying anything, but the 10s are going to keep going up because they're super rare. Dan Marino is a total legend with a cult following. So the 9s are going to jump with the 10s. They're not going to jump crazy amounts, but guess what? They'll never go down. They'll never, ever go down.
No, and like when we say never go down, for anybody who's watching, there will be lulls in the market where there might be a correction and the whole market goes down for a little bit, but it will go back up. Again, this is something that we compare to real estate where it's not a sexy, you're going to 2, 3, 4, 5x your card in a year or two. This is just going to slowly go up 5, 10, 15% over time.
Yep. Agree.
And you're going to make money.
Okay, so the next card has nothing to do with data, has nothing to do with math. I just love this photo. Terrell Owens, Showtime, just dropping the popcorn, man. Like, that's a sick photo.
Dude, I believe Lameem James posted 2. This was one of them, and another TO. I think the other one might have been him on the star. And they're just like, I was a huge Terrell Owens guy, and like I don't collect him, but it made me want to collect that card.
Exactly.
It just made me want to collect that card.
It just gave me the vibes, and like, you know, now I'm thinking about it, Terrell Owens kind of started the whole diva wide receiver thing. Like, back then, like, Jerry Rice was very well behaved. Like, these top receivers all time were all like professional, and then Terrell Owens came out there acting like a fucking brat, and I loved it. He is just must see TV. I know he was not a first ballot Hall of Famer, but he should have. It was only because he was off the field stuff, but
He should have been. But his football play was elite. He's a top 5 receiver all time.
He was on 3 huge markets: Philly, San Fran, Dallas.
Yep.
And when you're buying cards, it's about artwork. And Timeless Moments is a great set. This is not Timeless Moments, but it basically is. It's moment in time. Goodbye.
Great work by Panini on this one. And what this is where Panini and Topps need to get to is when you're making your next Kaboom set or your next Downtown set or whatever art set you're making, you don't need to think too much. Take Terrell Owens and the popcorn out of that image and put it on a Kaboom.
Yeah.
Like, how cool of a Kaboom would that be?
I don't need Herbert, and I don't need Mahomes every year. Bring me some old vets that give me nostalgia, that have cool moments in time. How about you give me a David Tyree helmet catch one?
How about Joe Horn pulling the cell phone out?
Exactly.
Like, there's Randy Moss mooning the crowd.
Yes.
Like, that would be a really cool Kaboom.
Yes.
And these are images that they can probably already pull from.
Yes.
You don't have to get creative. That is a cool concept.
Yeah. I don't. You know what I did the other day? I spent $550 and I bought a Glenn Davis logo, man. Is there any resale value in that? No. Am I going to lose money? Yes. I just like the card. It's nostalgic, and that's what cards are meant for.
Love that.
So back to the boring bullshit. We're at Brandon Miller Kaboom, and I like this card because Brandon Miller's good at basketball. Let's not forget, like, everyone thinks the Hornets, and they think LaMelo this, LaMelo that. I think LaMelo is done in the Hornets because he's not really doing anything but chucking up shots. I think Brandon Miller is an elite player.
I have a question, though. Do you think that if LaMelo goes to a bigger market, his card market could explode? Like, if he goes to the Knicks or the Lakers or...
his card market is already way too high. He's a fucking flat-out chucker. He has,
he's the Justin Herbert of...
He has 0 basketball IQ. Any team that takes him will lose. He's a super talented player, but he's just like an idiot. Like, LeVar Ball did a terrible job with him. Like, the other 2 sons at least are house-trained. This guy can't be left outside too long.
He doesn't know how to act, yeah.
Back to Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller is a good basketball player. His shit's too cheap.
What do you think this 7 goes for?
Well, see, this is the year of the Kabooms where they were all off-centered, so a 7 is a good grade. I think the 8's probably like a pop 1 or 2.
Oh, so PSA 8 is highest grade. That's why you're looking at this.
Yes, well, because people forget, 2023, all of those cards are off-centered. Look at the borders. They're just shifted way to the right. But good card, good player. The reason why I chose this card is because it'll go up. Like, the Kabooms move a lot. There's a lot of activity, so you can see an uptrend that will happen.
What's next? Oh my goodness!
I don't want to trash LaMelo that bad because I think he's. I
think you already did, Ethan.
But here's the thing, and you
trashed his family and his upbringing.
You need players in the league that are just all like hype and no substance.
You actually put down his family values.
All right, forget it. Fuck LaMelo. 2023. This is not Deca. This is flashback. This is what they did, and they were like, "Oh my god, they like these flashback shit so much. Let's make a whole fucking product for them." So this is flashback. Mahomes gold with the 2012 Prism design, which is the most lucrative design there is. That 2012 Prism gold market is exploding. You saw what LeBron just did, $850,000. Everyone's gonna come when Panini's gone, which will happen soon. People are gonna come back to this image and be like, "That's it." And this card was worth like $510K a couple years ago. It's at $667. It'll still be a few $1,000, but this is a good buy. It's a good looking card.
What do you think it ends at?
I think it ends at like $2,000, which is
a
crazy
steal.
Cheap. Yeah,
which is just a steal for a gold Mahomes.
True Prism gold Mahomes in years do like $9,000.
Yeah, right.
This is an insert, so it would be less, but this couldn't have been a better insert.
It's such for an insert. It's like as close to true as you.
It's more of a case hit than an insert.
Yeah, it's sick. And this picture doesn't even do it justice. When you're holding that card in your hand, it glows. It glows. Mm-hmm. It's just glowy. What else you got?
All right, so back to basketball. I was thinking the other day, who's the best shooting guard in the league? And the answer is probably Devin Booker. Like, people forget, Devin Booker is so good at basketball. His NTRPAs only do like $3,000. Devin Booker is on track to be a Hall of Famer. He has more skill set than half the guards in the league. Like, I just think this card's criminally cheap. It's at $900. It's his true RPA. I know it's horizontal and ugly, but look past that. It's his staple card. It should be a 3-4K card. He'll probably get it for a lot less.
Yeah, I'm not sold on the Suns. I think they're also a Chicago Bears type dumpster fire of an organization. I mean, you get Chris Paul and KD with Booker, and you can't figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they really underachieved, and I think that they're on a rebuild mode now too. So Maybe Devin Booker leaves town. I don't know. He's got a big contract. We'll see.
What you said is what I like about the market. He had a super team. Everyone forgot he was there. His shit went down and the super team sucked. Now he has nobody but Jalen Green, who is also a LaMelo Ball level chucker. And Devin Booker is going to get the ball in his hands a fuck ton, and he's going to average 30 points a game.
Where did Bradley Beal go? Clippers?
The Clippers,
Did he play on the Clippers last year?
No, he was there in the Suns last year. He's on the worst contract in the league, and somehow Steve Ballmer, just he gave all that money under the table to Kawhi, still had enough money to afford him, and dropped it on Bradley Beal.
Brilliant. Nice work, Ballmer.
Yeah, good job.
I like that fraud.
All right. This is up because I wanted to talk about this card.
Affordable.
I put one card that's a little high. All right? One card. But I wanted to show you data on this. This is a Jason Tatum Downtown 101. When we look back at Panini, the biggest card Panini will ever have made, the biggest, most important card are downtowns. Every casual, every kid, even adult has owned a downtown, several downtowns. If you go to card shows, the number one card people are looking for are downtowns. I have a display case with bangers. You've seen my display case. I bring heat to shows. Every fucking idiot comes to my table and asks me for a downtown. So looking back, this is the only 101 downtown in basketball history. 2024 is the only year basketball has a downtown 101. I think in 5-10 years, we're going to be seeing Brady 101 downtown is doing 200,000. Mahomes 101 downtown is doing 300,000. You're going to see gold Herberts and gold Burrows doing record numbers because those are the prime cards Panini have made. And they're going to look at basketball and be like, why are there no 101s? These are the only year they're coming out. They're not doing them next year. Like, if you look at basketball downtowns in general, the most expensive one is a Luka Doncic, which is a base rookie, PSA 10. Cool card. But these 101s are way cooler. So flip to the other tab, Dylan. Let me show you what the LeBron is at with 13 days left. It is at $120,000 with 13 days left. This card's been posted for 2 fucking days, and it's already the number one card on this auction site. These cards, because no one was looking at Optic this year. No one even gave a shit. They didn't even know they had downtowns. These cards
also are like very sick downtown.
Very
like, they did a
sick,
great job.
Very
with
cool.
Prints.
And there's only 14 of them ever. Like, the scarcity is there, the rarity is there, the photo is there, everything is about it is nice. When this card ends for $250K, that Tatum is $70,000. So why don't you go fucking off from $40K and take this card down?
Sure.
This is a great card.
Yep. And I mean, listen, Tatum will return in a big way.
Listen, this card is so good that you can put it in your closet for 20 years and then bring it out, and it will do numbers. Even, like, let's say if Matas Buzelis comes out of the league in 2 years. He's a nobody. He's out of the league, in and out. His 101 downtown in 15 years will still be $30,000 because it's a crazy cool set.
Okay, so Ethan, to your point, with all these downtowns, LeBron, Jason Tatum, if this is the last print of Downtown by Panini for a long time because Panini's going to lose the license, I think your theory is going to be very, very close to accurate, and these cards are going to be extremely valuable long-term as like the last Panini print with the license. Now, what I'm concerned about, though, is Panini had a deal with the NBA, okay, over the last 10 years, whatever it's been. Obviously, Mike Rubin and Fanatics come in, they negotiate their deal, they're going to take the license over. What's happened, though, in court over the last 6 to 12 months is that Panini owed the NBA somewhere around $50 million, right, for the license to the cards and particular autographs, etc. What they're arguing in court to the NBA is, well, since this Fanatics deal came in, we didn't have access to Victor Wembanyama. We didn't have access to big NBA players. We didn't have their autographs. And because of that, our sales took a hit. And now we can't pay you this $50 million. Now, on the other side of that, Fanatics, when they went to the NBA, they said, listen, we're going to pay you $100 million. Just end your contract with Panini. We're going to pay you $100 million, right? But Fanatics doesn't have the cash to make that payment right now, right? So now, on one end, you have Panini saying, hey, we can't pay you because this Fanatics deal ruined our product. And on the other side, Fanatics is saying, oh, well, we have this long-term deal with you, just like give us some time to pay. What's floating around behind closed doors is that if Fanatics can't pay up to the NBA might say, No. If this is how it's going to go down, both Fanatics and Panini get the license. Now, I don't know what year this would start, if it would be 26, if it would be 27, but I guess my question that I'm posing to you is, do you believe it would be better for the hobby and everybody in it if both Panini and Fanatics could produce different sets, right, and give more cards to the hobby?
I think competition is good for any market. If this is true, I think it's cool, but I don't think it's happening. I really see Panini just dumping products out right now. They just put Impeccable into Panini 1. They put Contenders into Mosaic. They're like dumpster firing this shit. I think that if there were two companies competing, it would be cool. But right now they are competing still, and none of them are winning. So let's just say that in 5 years, both the products are coming out. How about a third-party company? Can I get Upper Deck's hat in this ring again? Can I get can I get Leaf's hat in this ring? Let's get everyone licensed.
What I've also heard is that Leaf could potentially get a license also. So, which is exactly what you're asking for. And this, I believe, is the greatest thing for everybody in the hobby, whether you're a breaker, whether you're a flipper, whether you're a somebody who sets up his shows, and even if you're a collector. There's more products to choose from. The market will determine what's the most valuable, right? The people who buy the cards, us, we are going to shape what the card prices look like, right? And if the Pro Debut patch in baseball is the truest, coolest card that everybody wants, that will remain the highest selling card, right? But I think that, and the reason we bring this up is we were just talking about this Panini Downtown being the last print for a long time of a Panini product. But if it's not, I don't think they're going to be as valuable, number one, long term, right? They could still hold value. It's just, it was way cooler if it's the last Panini printed product, right? But at the same time, for the hobby, the best thing is for Leaf, Fanatics, and Panini to all be printing products, all have access to autographs. Maybe some autographs are exclusive to different companies, but I would rather Victor Wembanyama have an auto in every single product. I would rather Patrick Mahomes be with Panini, Fanatics, and Leaf. I'd rather see them across the board. Or I could understand an argument, though, hey, they all print different products. Everybody has the licenses, but autos are limited to specific companies.
I mean, that'd be really cool. But also I can think about in the 80s and 90s where the junk wax era was happening because everyone was printing so many cards. But if it worked where it was like some players are here, some players are there, some players are there, that's not good. I think everyone should have all access to all the players and just have a who can make the coolest card competition. But it's not going to happen. This is a business. Like the NBA is going to put their money into the biggest dog who pays them the most money, and it's going to be Fanatics.
Well, but here's what you have to think about, right? You're part of your answer is right. It's all about business. But if the NBA does an analysis, right, and says, okay, Fanatics is going to pay us $100 million. But if we make Fanatics, Leaf, and Panini pay us $50 million each, we get $150 million. So that's where business makes it possible for every single company, right, to be producing cards. And if the NBA sets this trend, I believe the NFL will follow, and potentially MLB also. We'll see. I don't know. But every company, like you said, is a business, and if they see more money on the table, and they're only getting $50 million a year from Fanatics, and they can make 100 or 150, it's just business.
Yeah, but if Fanatics and Panini are both on contract, one of them are going to be like, hey, I'm not going to deal with this. I'm not going to have to fight against this company. And they're just going to withdraw it and not print them at all. I think that if Panini was still having licenses, Topps is going to be like, all right, no more basketball. We're just a football company now. But I also can see the whole entire Fanatics brand crumbling if that happens, because their whole basis was like, hey, we are the one-stop shop of all sports. And if they lose that, I mean, they already, I don't think in the past two calendar years of Topps printing cards, they are making money at all. I think they're working at a net negative.
Yeah, I don't have the inner workings of, Topps' or Fanatics' financials. But at the same time, it's definitely interesting to see some of this stuff unfold, because I think that we can all agree in the hobby that there's been some products for this past year or two, CJ Stroud rookies, Wemby rookies, that have kind of been ruined
Yeah.
And the way they've been ruined is there's no true licensed product with an auto, right? You have your Bowman and your Topps autos that are unlicensed, and then you have your Panini products that are licensed but don't have autographs. So that's kind of made these cards not look as good as they should for collectors, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I just want rare cards at the end of the day. I want cool, rare, scarce cards. And if everyone's printing, that's not good. If only one company printing, that still might not be good because they could be printing bullshit. So, in general, as a collector, I hope they figure this out and they give one person the license and they do a good job. And if they don't, they get removed and the next guy comes in.
And the last thing I'll add about 80s and 90s junk wax is I think that cannot happen again only because they hadn't figured out numbering cards back then.
Exactly.
And now that they number cards, even if they overprint cards, if you print a 1 of 1 and it's truly just a 1 of 1 with a patch or a 1 of 1 with an auto or a 1 of 1 black prism, like that's the only one that exists. And that's what makes the card valuable is its scarcity, right?
Exactly.
So that's never going to end. If you number the cards, and that's the quote-unquote manipulation. I think that's kind of like a derogatory word in the hobby, but the truth of the matter is the manipulation of that card makes it valuable.
Yep.
So that I like a 1 of 1. I like a gold, right? And I don't care if there's extra golds because like you said before, true gold, the whole market knows that true gold is worth more than everything else. And the alt golds or any type of alternative or insert gold is going to be worth less.
To latch onto your idea, I think it would be really cool if in the license they only let each company print so many cards. Like, hey, Topps, you can only print 1 million cards. Panini can only print 1 million cards. And then what they do now is like, oh, we have 5 versions of the 101s. We have 20 different colorways. Now you only have a certain amount of cards to print, so make those legit.
Make those count.
Yeah.
All right, guys, before we end the show, we're going to do our next Ludex weekly loot giveaway. Shout out to our sponsors over at Ludex. And this week we did a little variant. Not a football card, not a basketball card. Check this out. PSA 9 2023 Brock Lesnar Gold Prism. First on print, 1 of 5 on the photo. Gold shimmer. Really, really cool card. I'm sure we're going to have some WWE fans in the chat who are really going to respect this one. Again, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you follow Dappz Sports on all socials, TikTok, Instagram. We are producing a number of shows now. We have the cookbook. If you're interested in gambling, that we produce every Monday and Thursday. Please watch that pregame. We will be live. We're also producing General Managers, our fantasy show. So if you want to know who to start or sit, or if you want to analyze some stats with us, Fantasy Junkies, please watch that show. When is that show, Dylan? Wednesdays?
That show's Tuesdays.
That show is Tuesdays, guys. Make sure you watch that one as well. Again, make sure you download the Ludex app at the link below. Put your whole collection into the app. It's going to make it super easy for you to figure out what your collection's worth. You are watching Up or Down. We will be back next week. I'm your host, Dappz. That is Ethan. We will see you soon.